Hey guys, John here, and I'm just going to show punk rock. These are all the punk rock records I got in April and May, and I played a lot of them on my live streams I did, but YouTube took those down. And I know I showed some of these records, or a good amount of them, on the Dr. October Ryan Kidd show, but I've never actually shown them on my channel, so I figured I'd do this before I file things away. And Dr. October and Ryan Kidd run a punk rock show every other Saturday, and I'll leave a link to that because that's really like ground zero for the punk rock information on the vinyl community, or in the vinyl community. But here's a stack of singles we'll go through, and that's about it. Okay, I got this cool thing, the Maniacs, which I think is Alvin Lee Shaw, who was in the Rings with PuNk, and they put out one single, like 78 maybe, and this is an unreleased song that came out a few years ago called I Don't Want to Go to Work, and it's fantastic, aggressive, angry, lo-fi, so it's like a lost song. And the B-side is a live version of White Light, White Heat by the Velvet Underground. So this is a nice score. NDN Records. I'm not going to open this, it's got one of those flaps. Reissue of the Rabies. They're a New York City kind of power pop band, and my baby's a hologram. My girl's a hologram. Cool. Nice reissue. These are expensive singles. This will be an original of a band I never heard of called the Mutants from 1977 out of Liverpool, and it's early days of punk rock. Their look is a little mixed up, like almost Larry Wallace or pub rock. Interesting band, but this is killer, like street rock and roll, punk rock. Not quite pub, and it's on the RoCk label. Backyard Boys and Boss Man. Really great single. I'm glad I found this one. RoCk's number 2. Buzzer. I think this is a California band. This is probably from like 2008. Like lo-fi, punk, a little rock and roll, or very rock and roll. It's one of the guys from the Time Flies, if anyone remembers that band from 20 years ago. California. This is the Armitage Shanks, and this might be their first single, if not very early one. And this is from 1994 on Vinyl Japan, recorded at Toe Rag, of course. Covering One Chord Wonders, the Adverts, and the A-side is Living is the Best Revenge. And this is really one of my favorite punk rock bands from the 90s and 2000s. Love the Armitage Shanks. Here's another reissue from, I think, Mad Butcher Records out of Germany. Do a lot of classic reissues of punk stuff. And this is the Carpets doing Small Wonder, which was originally on the Small Wonder label. And there it is. And that would be Mad Butcher Classics out of Germany. And this is a British band from, I forget what year this is, late 70s, early 80s. Angelic Upstarts, not just a name. This is a 4-song EP. And this is from, I think, this is a Mad Butcher Classic reissue, but I want to say this was like 82, like a middle year one. They're getting a little more like the Skids, a little, but still punk, but not as like wild, crusty punk as in the beginning. But I actually like this one a lot. Reissue of The Blood, Stark Raven, Normal, and this gets thrown in with Oi. I think these were on a lot of those famous Oi comps, and this is a killer track, killer. And this would be on Mad Butcher Records, and this is from 1982. There'll be a London band. No Way. I think this is another reissue on Mad Butcher Classics. This was a one-off band from England, 1978. Cut one single, and there it is. It's a good one though. Breaking Point, TV Pox, in 30 seconds. Cool 3-track single. And you're never going to find those originals. And this one was recommended from Ryan Kidd. And Social Security, another band who put out a one single and ended it in 1978 England. And this is a reissue on Mad Butcher. And that's the best part of this is they do a cover of Stella's Got a Fella, which is a 1950s track by a doo-wop band. But the B-side, Stella's Got a Fella, is a killer rock and roll, rockabilly, almost a Link Ray guitar in there stuff, and they're covering that, so that's pretty pretty cool to have a cover of that. And the cover's great. The original's fantastic. Reissue of Peter and the Test Tube Babies. I think this is their second single. Was it Run Like Hell and Up Your Bum. Great band, still going today. Nice label there. And now we'll get some originals. This is Punishment of Luxury, and this is Puppet Life, Killer Track, almost new wavy. I think this is 78. Yeah, 1978 on an original Small Wonder label, and they're a weird band. Don't quite have the look down, but just wild British punk rock, new wavy, weirdo stuff. But I love that song, Puppet Life. What do we got? We got Martha and the Muffins. They were Toronto kind of new wave power poppy band, chick singer. And this is just a middle single from 1980. Pretty decent. What's the name of the song on this? Girl Fat and Suburban Dream. Leighton Buzzard's first single. Absolute killer punk rock. Kind of underrated British band. I love them. This is 19 and Mad and Euthanasia and Villain. Great, great. Really, one of these forgotten about bands. That actually also on Small Wonder. But if you get a nice compilation of Leighton Buzzard's good band. A later issue of The Police's very first single. What was the song? Nothing Achieving, and the killer B-side Fallout. This is with the original guitarist, Henry Padavani. And they sound more like a punk rock band, almost a little new wave of British heavy metal in there. And this would be from 78, before they got lame. This is from 2008, maybe? 2009. The New York Dolls recut their classic Trash, but they do it like Caribbean island style, and it's laid back, and it actually really works. I bought this for cheap money, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's a killer. The B-side's just Trash live in 2009. This is on a nice retro Atco label, like the Coasters or the Robins. So if you see this one around, it was only, I doubt I paid more than $3. Excellent. The Gym Slips from London, tough working class broads. Probably grouped in with the Oi a little bit. 1982, their first single, 48 Crash, cover of Susie Quattro, and it's almost a straight cover. It almost sounds just like the original. But, oh yeah, Miss None Sweeter is the B-side. Good band, I like them a lot. Neon, kind of a more, this is the English Neon, not to be confused with other ones. Don't Eat Bricks, a little more new wavy, bizarre, and this is from 78 on Acquiesce Images. Cool to have. Boss, this is, I don't know where they're from. I think they're British, and they got some French members. This is a brand new single. They only have one other single I have, and this was recommended by Mike at Uncommon Pallor, and I grabbed this. And this is great. This is more like lo-fi punk rock mixed with glam rock, a little rock and roll. And it's on Static Shock Records, Cashman, and Red Signal. It's got this wonderful, I really like this artwork here. Check this out. And I highly recommend, the first single is excellent too. But happy to have that. Sham 69, that classic from I think 1978, Hersham Boys. Absolute Oi classic here, and on Polydor, they were big. Wonderful. Oh yeah, this is a cool one. Briard. This is a Finnish band, actually. The first official vinyl reissue of arguably the first Finnish punk rock thing. This is reissued on Svart. This is Briard. This is good because this is Andy McCoy from the Hanoi Rocks' very first band. And this would have been like 78? I don't know what year this came out originally, but Andy McCoy was just a young kid playing this band. It's got this nice little book. And Andy McCoy from the Hanoi Rocks, if I didn't say that. And it's a killer single. Really Hate You is a good track. Finnish punk rock. Here's another Jim Slips. I ordered this. I think I got this by accident. I ordered a different single, but it's a Jim Slips 4-song EP that came with their first album. And it's got some cool songs, a little novelty. This is the chick band I showed earlier, Abstract Records. Chronic Generation, Chrone Gen. And this is, geez, I can't remember what this might be their second single, or is it a later one? I can't remember. 1981, Step Forward Records. Cool band. Anti-Nowhere League from Kent, and this is this their second single? I don't remember, but this is I Hate People and Let's Break the Law on I don't know, YX, who knows what label that is. Oh, YXZY, whatever that is. But fantastic, angry British punk. Infrariot, this I'll classify almost as Oi. I think they're on some of those Oi comps. The Winter and School's Out. This is really cool. And they're a London band. Secret Records. More violent punk. Vice Squad from Bristol, maybe. And this is a 3-song EP. Chicken the band. Classic. Again, a little more like second tier British punk rock, but 3 songs, and one of them, maybe Sterile, is really good. This is cool, on EMI, I think, a big label. No, what's it say? Riot City Records, but I think it's put out by EMI. What do we got here? This, I think this is thrown in the batch to Retardos. Like, this is just a lo-fi band from maybe like 10, 15 years ago, American. Nothing great. Who knows what? A Super Team US band. And that's it for singles. I didn't get a lot of 12 inches, but I got 45 Grave doing this School's Out and Party Time, the classic from the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack. I didn't have this version. This is a 12-inch single version. There's Dying of Cancer, great California punk rock, death rock band, 45 Grave. Still around today. Cockspara's second album. I didn't have this. I have the stuff on CD and compilations, but I didn't actually own this. This is, I don't know if this is a boot or not. This is Pirates Press. And it's pretty, it's just a nice, you know, it's a decent copy, but the inside, on the inner sleeve, they actually embossed it with Cockspar. It's stamped in there. You could feel it. I've never seen that done, especially on something that's in the gray area and they're not, there's no inner sleeve, and they didn't spend a lot of money on this to put that extra effort for that stamp. Pretty cool. This is interesting. This is Swiss Wave. This is the album. This would be, I'm not going to read anything. The only band I knew was famous is Lilliput. Kleenex became Lilliput. Swiss band, new wave, punky. It's got a whole bunch of bands on it. Nice cheap comp from who knows what year. It's 1980. Jack and the Rippers, Lady Shave, The Sick. I'm not, Mother's Ruin, and some other bands, but, and it's on some weird label. Looks like a disco label. Babylon Records. And I got this recommended from Eric from High Defamation TV. Did a whole great video on French Oi, and I grabbed this comp called Chaos in France. I only knew Comatern Sect, and it's got a whole bunch of just French Oi punk bands. And it's a lot of fun listening to this. It's got a little, this was cheap too. This was maybe 17 bucks, under 20 bucks. Who knows what label this is. All this stuff is kind of great. Chaos Productions. But it has a little book in there, which is great for someone like me because I don't know these bands. So you get a little picture and a little blurb or lyrics. So that was cool. Good investment. This is, I always wanted this. This is Voltage 79. It's almost like a local comp from, was it Brighton? Another Two Sides of Brighton. And it's got some tracks of this punk, new wave, or just like quirky British indie stuff. And a lot of this stuff is not available on singles or on other things, just CDs. So the Galinsky Brothers, the Vandals, Bank Holidays, a killer track. There's some good ones on here. There's some reggae too, but happy to have this. And that's on Atrix Records. There's a nice CD comp of Matrix records. And the best record, one of the best, is this band I never heard of called the Ramblers from Germany. This is killer, like New York City, Ramones, Tough Darts, like 1977 punk rock or proto-punk street rock and roll. Not street rock and roll, but like New York City rock and roll. Like if you like the Real Kids and stuff. And this is just a killer record, and I got it for pretty cheap. I think it's on some crazy German label, Crystal. But there's like maybe 13 songs, or maybe there's like 15 songs, but they're all really, really good. There's not a stinker on here. This is a great rock and roll record by the Ramblers out of Germany. And that's it. Hopefully that wasn't too long. And see you guys later. Cheers.